The first big blow to my ego came in September of 2011. I didn't see it at first, but as the time went on, I realized it more and more. In fact, it's so obvious to me now that I feel ashamed for not spotting it right away. Ego is your number one enemy, and today's episode of the How to Shape the Future show is about helping you to recognize it and deal with it. So after 2008, when I lost everything and was hugely in debt with no skills, I was silently working online to make some money and rebuild my confidence. As a man, being broke makes you powerless, and that's exactly how I felt. Now, during the first 18 months online, nothing really clicked for me. I kind of understood what people were doing online to make money, but it just didn't work for me. Something was missing. So in June of 2010, I had enough of what I call a blind struggle, meaning doing something without a plan, just hoping that things will eventually get better. So I said to my wife, listen, I need something different to clear my mind from all the BS I have learned over the years. You see, as an entrepreneur since the age of 13, all I had done in my life up to that point, which was 28 years old, was run an offline business. I had no real skills, something that others would value and pay for. So I asked my wife whether I can pawn my wedding ring to make a down payment for a high-ticket training program. She agreed, and that's exactly what I did. At this point, I'll skip a ton of details here, but after learning the key ingredients and realizing what makes money online and how it all works, in 2011, I made my first quote-unquote big money. It was nearly $40,000 in sales in just 2 weeks. I was thrilled. Persuaded by my late online friend Kieran, I booked a trip to the US to attend the first live event of the same high-ticket training program I purchased over a year ago by pawning my wedding ring. At that moment, I was still thinking that I'm special, that nobody has struggled as much as me, and that considering circumstances, I'm the number one when it comes to getting results from being over 7 figures in debt, no English writing or proper speaking skills, and no online business skills of any kind. My ego was at play here. But what I didn't know at that moment was these 2 fundamental things. First, nobody cares about you as much as you think, if that. And secondly, everyone has their own story and struggle. People overcome insane health issues, insane poverty, abuse, prisons, and many more difficulties beyond belief to achieve incredible things in life. So as I was hanging out with my friend Kieran and over 500 other attendees, and as I was listening to their stories, more and more I realized how little my story meant. Thinking that you are special, that you deserve something, that you have been treated unfairly is a consequence of your ego. And if you want to have progress, you can't allow that to happen. And the funniest thing is that the biggest ego you typically will find in people with empty wallets, just like me back in 2010, 2011, because they have not yet accepted the fact that they are not special, that it doesn't matter how unfairly they have been treated in the past, and that they ultimately are responsible for absolutely everything in their lives. Taking a full responsibility where not a single bone in your body blames others is the starting point. This is why one of my all-time favorite books is by Ryan Holiday called Ego is the Enemy. It talks about how various famous people destroyed their lives thanks to their egos taking over. And today I even have his Ego is the Enemy medallion in my pocket and in my car. It serves me as a reminder that I'm not special. I'm just one of 8 billion people who are all trying to achieve something special. Now, where does the ego show up the most? There are many ways how it does it, but what I have discovered over the years is a simple pattern that almost always is a consequence of ego doing its job. This pattern is evident whenever you use phrases like, I want this, I like this, I don't want that. I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. Those are the moments where ego shows up at its best. It fully controls you. For example, in my line of business, when someone asks me how to make money online, most of the time they already know the answer. Most of the time, to get more leads and customers for your business, all you need to do is record more videos, write more blog posts, run more ads, and make a better offer. It's as simple as that. But even though people know it, they don't do that because of their ego. They justify it by saying, well, I don't like to be on camera. I don't want to write content. I don't like social media. There is nothing wrong with my offer. In reality, what these people are actually saying is that their ego is bigger than the desire to get results. But you really don't have a choice. You either let your ego own you and stay where you are, or you deal with it and make progress. And when it comes to the future, considering that AI and blockchain technology are going to take over most of the actions people take online today, ego is really the biggest enemy here because it doesn't allow you to be flexible and learn what you have to learn to take advantage of these technologies and win in the future. We of course will talk more about them, but ever since I became aware of the ego, I have been constantly thinking about it. I know it wants to criticize others. I know it wants to tell me I'm special, and I know he plays games with me. But because I'm aware of it, I can stop it in its tracks and correct myself. Look, I'm not perfect, for sure. From time to time, my ego gets out of control and takes over, but it starts to happen less often, and that's what you want as well. Ego is the enemy, and either you deal with it or you will lose. That's the price you pay today, and even bigger price in the future. So thank you for tuning in to this How to Shape the Future show with me, Garety, and I'll see you in the next episode. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye for now.